guys, Pie Guy Rules here, and welcome to the topic of discussion. Today's topic is Primal Screen, more specifically, the bumpers that they did for Cartoon Network. Now, Primal Screen, Google it. Primal Screen is, it's basically a company that makes advertisements, bumpers, all sorts of things. They deal in animation, sometimes they do a little bit of live-action-y stuff, but mostly animation, and they do a lot of stuff. Like, they get around. Most, like, ad campaigns you'll see for networks are done by them. I mean, pretty much everything Cartoon Network, a lot of stuff, if not everything, Nickelodeon. Same for Disney. Like, they have things like commercials for Trix cereal. Like, they do all sorts of things. But what I really wanted to talk about was what they did for Cartoon Network back in the day. Because while they still do bumpers for them now, nothing is, to me, iconic of, I don't want to say my childhood, but kind of my childhood. Definitely the network in general, and maybe even all of cartoons, as their bumpers for Cartoon Network. They're Powerhouse bumpers. Powerhouse, the name comes from the song that played during the bumpers, and the theme song of Cartoon Network for years. The song is, well, you can look it up. It's copyrighted, so I can't show it to you here. But it's a great song. You probably, if you think of like classic Disney cartoons, some of them had it. Like The Simpsons did an homage to it. It's anytime when like a mechanical thing is in the works, you know, you would play the song in classical cartoons, and it's a great song. It is a really awesome song. It has a lot of different parts to it. It's really booming. It's got a good start. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff to it, and you'll know it when you hear it. But basically, what they did was, I'm going to read it off of the website because they describe it better than I can. For its first comprehensive reface, Cartoon Network wanted to focus on what made cartoons cartoony. This package featured new animation of the network stars of many major animation studios, including Warner Brothers, MGM, and Hanna-Barbera. Of course, the styling had to be very true to the original characters. Each show was placed in an iconic situation or on stylized, monochromatic backgrounds that changed color depending on the time of day. The long-running package also showcased Primal Screen's animation, music, and sound design. It became the international identity for the network, requiring that Primal Screen makes custom elements for the UK, Latin America, and Japan. In total, they made over 300 distinctive spots for the system. Each have a unique narrative and title treatments that recall classic cartoons. Oh my god, that describes it so amazingly. Go on their website, primalscreen.com. It'll take a little bit of digging, but you want to find Cartoon Network Reface. Along the way, you'll see a lot of stuff that you're familiar with. They also did some more recent Cartoon Network stuff, as I stated, and then there's also separate categories for things like the music videos they did for Cartoon Network and stuff like that. But on this Cartoon Network Reface, you'll see they've got a huge montage of just, a variety of stuff that they did, but then they have a few specific examples, like a Batman one, a Dexter's Lab one, Tom and Jerry, some generic ones. But I mean, this was really cool. I want to speak specifically on more or less the "We'll be right back" and "Back to the Show" bumpers. Like it said, the formula was basically this. Characters, one or a few, were engaging in an iconic situation from that show. And basically they were doing something cartoony. Like Batman was beating up the Joker. Dexter was destroying some sort of giant monster in his lab. Tom was chasing Jerry. That happens, and then something happens. Something causes a transition. For Tom and Jerry on the piano, Tom's chasing Jerry, and the piano keys fly up in the air. They cause the transition. They form the black and white checkerboard pattern of Cartoon Network. Basically, whatever happens, something happens in these bumpers. In almost all of these bumpers, this specific type of bumpers, where the black and white checkerboard pattern covers the screen because of something that happened in the little animation. It covers the screen, transitions away to the title of the show, and, maybe some after effect, like Batman holding the Joker, or, George Jetson getting a ticket, for speeding. And then then the Cartoon Network logo would show. And like it said, it changed backgrounds based upon the time of day. It was black if it was night. It was blue if it was, I think, prime time, evening. Morning was like yellow. Like, they had all different times. And animation, action cartoons like Batman got purple backgrounds. This ad campaign was really cool. And like I said, over 300 individual bumpers, And it's hard pressed, I'll be hard pressed, to find a cartoon that aired on that network that didn't have at least one of these bumpers. I mean, everything from Tiny Toons, Freakazoid, Batman, Dexter, Cow and Chicken, like anything that aired in that time on Cartoon Network had it. You know, Hanna-Barbera cartoons, cartoons, like they said, MGM cartoons, like everything had at least one. And the piece de resistance, as they mentioned their sound design, what they did, and getting back to the Powerhouse thing, what they did was they mixed the Powerhouse theme, that song that I can't sing, with a theme of the show. So, you know, the Powerhouse theme would be, you know, the dun, 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 and then it would mix in some of the show, like, you know, there'd be a jazz riff of the Dexter's Lab theme, you know, and the song would speed up if there was something actually going on, slow down if it was like a, you know, a slow scene, or a character was tired or whatever. You know, like, it's really cool. And I could just sit here and watch these bumpers. I spend, like, so much time clicking around YouTube, finding these various bumpers everywhere. And they're so cool. And these are just one type, the main type of all of these bumpers. Cartoon Network had these music videos, they have these little sketches, and you may remember the 20th anniversary they recently had. Well, they hired Primal Screen to do that. Remember how it was black backgrounds and the characters interacting with each other? That was similar to what they used to do. It's definitely an homage. It's not like the exact same type of, at least not the We'll Be Right Back, but it's the type of stuff that Cartoon Network used to do. And they were great. Man, I really wish that they would still do this. I think it would be great for the network. Because, I mean, they do it all right. They're little, what's it called? They kind of have a checkerboard 3D space thing where the characters are like, coming up next. Where the characters pop out of the squares and stuff. But this is just so cool. Like, it encapsulates what watching a cartoon is like. And it's like, it's a commercial. It's basically a commercial. It's like a We'll Be Right Back or Back to the Show, but it's kind of a commercial. And, you know, I want to watch it. Like, that's the thing. The fact that I want to sit down and watch this stuff, the fact that it's not just, you know, well, the show will be back in a minute. It's cool. You know, occasionally there'll even be characters from the show or the announcer talking about what's going on in the little clip. Like, ooh, the Powerpuff Girls are going to feel it tomorrow or whatever. That was a weird example, but you know what I mean. Like, you know, oh, Johnny's been rejected again. Oh, how could that happen? You know, like, cleverer than I'm saying. But, yeah, like, I don't know if I could nail home the point enough. I don't know if people who weren't born in the time to see this can understand it the way I do and the rest of us do. Because these are great, and it is great. But until you just get the wonderful surprise of seeing it on TV after an episode of your favorite show, or in the middle of your episode of your favorite show, I don't know if you'll ever be able to really appreciate these bumpers. And that's why, as much as I love watching them online, it's not the same. It's just not. I'm not going to give you any links, but if you click around YouTube, you can find a lot of these bumpers and a lot of other Primal Screen bumpers. And some of them are even uploaded by the people who animated them. I would be really interested in picking the brain of some of those people to find out what it was like how this whole thing came about, you know, how Primal Screen came up with this idea, you know, what it was like to work on something like that. I would be very interested in picking their brains. And like I said, visit the Primal Screen website. You'll see a lot of cool stuff. Cartoon Network Reface is specifically what you're looking for if you want to know what I'm referencing here. I can leave a link to that in the description. Alright, so discuss it in the comments below. Let me know, you know, what your favorite of these bumpers are. Let me know if you've never seen these, what your first impression of if you go see them. Let me know some memories. Let me know just anything you want to talk about this discussion. Alright? Pie Guy Rules, out.